This is 50/50. We bring you the story behind the story.
We're a mouthpiece for the environment.
Conservation is everyone's issue.
We follow up on our stories.
We can make a difference.
We reach out and touch the lives of our fellow South Africans.
We look after our natural and cultural heritage.
You don't have to dig deep into our archives to celebrate the beauty of nature.
Because 50/50 has always been about celebrating our natural heritage, with particular emphasis on reporting the balance between humans and nature.
And that's why we love the work that we do.
Because our rivers are polluted.
Because our air is being poisoned.
Because our animals are dying.
Because our land is precious.
Because our country is magnificent.
Because we need to know. Since its inception 30 years ago, 50/50 has been a television property that has won many awards both locally and internationally, and has aided in making conservation and the environment top of mind for many a South African. It's hard-hitting, powerful, informative.
If we keep trying to find a single solution to very complex problems, we'll constantly be lost.
Relevant.
It takes 1 litre of a hydrocarbon to pollute 1 million litres of water.
Entertaining. Compelling. And educational.
So many young people said, "You've compromised our future, you adults. There's nothing we can do about it."
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight.
Can you believe we've been on air for 29 years? Our 30th birthday coming up next year.
Goeienaand en welkom by 50/50.
South Africa has a beautiful landscape, an abundance of wildlife and rich biodiversity. And 50/50 is the platform on which we recognize and celebrate that.
Fifty/50 is about the balance between humans and nature, and tonight we shine our spotlight on human environment.
On a morning early in June this year, just as Soweto was shaking off the cold of the night before, Orlando East residents made a grisly discovery. The killing in a township shack is one of 3 rodent-related deaths in the past 2 months. In Khayelitsha outside Cape Town, a 3-year-old baby girl was gnawed to death in her sleep. And in Alexandra, north of Johannesburg, a 79-year-old man was found dead in his makeshift home. Being creatures of the night, it's after the sun goes down that the rats come out to play and feast, and they come out in their hundreds.
We meet a few unintentional conservationists, the personalities and stories behind those jam-packed trolleys that plague us in the traffic.
To me, it looks like they're relocating sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't know.
I actually feel sorry for them as well, because they're also trying to make a living.
The number of dussies in the Norskott Koppies Nature Reserve has skyrocketed because of the absence of their natural predators.
Been replaced. One of the ladies here left her car parked for a period of time. She came back and the car was completely destroyed by dassies that had moved into the car.
The government is trying to introduce a zero waste policy for South Africa, but whole communities of people eke an existence from waste that we leave behind.
It's unsafe for those people to work in landfills. It makes operations on the landfill very, very difficult. If I don't have food on the table for my kids or for my family, and there's a way in which I can provide for them, whether that way means that I must go and reclaim waste at a landfill, I will do it.
Dose of lavender, perfect remedy to heal a community wounded by poverty, drugs and gangsters.
My background is coming from the poor family, so many people did help me as well. So when we're talking about community upliftment, it means a lot to me.
Killing of rhino for their horn is continuously increasing, with the poachers now coming into the Kruger Park as heavily armed military units. Because a rhino is killed every 21 hours, and that is a crisis.
A tragedy of enormous consequences.
That is why I have devoted my life to it. Again, it is a situation where South Africa could hold its head high. I mean, we're fighting a war.
So the only way we can take on poaching is take it on as a war effort. So, you know, fight it on the ground.
The more you get to know rhino, their personalities, what incredible animals they are, you get very attached and very driven by that.
The high price that crocodiles pay for high fashion. The South African crocodile farming industry is under scrutiny.
All the crocs are in the corner. The temperature is very, very low for an indoor structure. This is 3 years. Yes. No, my friend, you got a big problem. When you compare standards in South Africa, and there are a lot of dodgy farms like this.
The controversial practice of culling seals resumes again, and Namibia justifies this cruel practice with arguments centered around job creation and protecting the fishing industry.
It's an horrendously cruel activity.
Shale gas is said to be the solution to the energy crisis, but hydraulic fracturing technology used to free the gas in the shale has serious health and pollution side effects. And it's one of the many things threatening South Africa and Africa's natural heritage.
Every single village in the Karoo is dependent on underground water. If the fracking process goes wrong, we will lose the entire communities.
So it's an amazing opportunity, especially in an environment where all of us are concerned about the security of energy supplies in general.
The reasons why Mapungubwe is this special and this important. Mapungubwe is the first Southern African kingdom, meaning this is exactly where kingdomship started in Southern Africa.
A great variety of migratory birds that move into the Mapungubwe area, and a lot of those come in at night, and the light pollution is really going to affect their bearings, and the other problem would be the birds, the nocturnal birds that roost on the road itself.
Acid mine drainage is radioactive and poisonous, and in the last few years it's been poisoning our water.
If that pumping station is lost, it is literally the last safety mechanism between the rising tide of toxic water, radioactive water, and an environmental catastrophe in South Africa, the magnitude of which South Africa has not yet seen before.
Yes, we're definitely going on with the criminal charges. We have to do it. That's the first intervention. But that's not solving the problem. To solve the problem is the mines must really now come to the party.
Let's not ignore what's happening around the world. The global crisis is our crisis.
Turtles are one of the most endangered animals in the world right now.
there is no business, and there is the people who don't have money to feed the horses or to give him tablets or something like this.
The conditions were barbaric. Hold on. They were alone. It was shocking, absolutely shocking. And I've seen things in South Africa, but nothing compared to that. Nothing.
Celebrating environmental heroes is nothing new to 50/50. And on 50/50 tonight, Jane Goodall brings her passion to our studio.
The most important thing for everybody watching, think a little bit about the consequences of the choices you make each day.
Tell us about A Frozen Planet and this decision that the BBC made to go and spend 7 years filming in a very, very hostile environment.
Indeed, it's not unreasonable to think that maybe in 10 years' time you wouldn't be able to see the things that we were able to see last year. The natural world is of deep fascination. It's beautiful, it's unpredictable, it's dramatic, it's exciting, it's important, it means something to us all.
We follow our team with hidden cameras as they go deep undercover.
We are amazed at the amount of police activity in the immediate vicinity of the two-step merchants. The small tables on the pavements held a variety of insecticides and rat poisons. If we freeze this frame, we can see at least 6 different types of possible pesticides, most of them unlabeled.
800 dogs per month get killed in the country because of LD carp and other poisons, for people to gain access to properties, to commit armed robberies, to commit house theft, to commit rapes, murders and petty theft.
It causes an irritation, pain and suffering to the animal, and clearly without a strap the animal would not bark at all.
Just a friends coming back from Sun City, see how we can interact with them, see if they bring the animals to us.
Have we found the missing link?
The first pictures of a new discovery that will challenge your beliefs regarding the origins of humankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this new species is called Australopithecus sediba.
It is absolutely unbelievable. This is like looking someone in the eye from 1.5 million years ago. Maurice has compiled some fantastic contributions from our viewers for tonight.
Brenda Reed sent in this rather gory footage of hyenas feasting on a zebra and her unborn fetus.
These beautiful images of a black-backed jackal catching a mouse were sent in by Trevor Butler from Uitenhage. It is interesting to note that this gecko has already had one close shave. Now, if you look at its tail, you can see that he's previously lost this and is regrowing it. And keeping with our creepy-crawly theme, Bets Steyn saw this larvae of the translucent ermine moth crossing the road somewhere between Satara and Letaba.
Simon has picked one from his mailbox that is of particular interest, so let's find out what Simon said.
How many Earths would we need if everyone lived on the planet like you do? The answer for the first world is something between 5 and 9 planets. South Africans come in between 2 and 3. What is clear here is that the problem is not the number of people, it's the amount that we consume. Eugene Witsu wrote in with 2 questions. The first, simply, why is the sky blue? We've had a couple of questions about the nature of rhino horn. Kamogelo from Polokwane has a really good question. How on earth do porcupines mate?
50/50. Selected duration-specific packages available in HD.
Okay, guys, what's next?